Hi guys, happy Friday! Welcome to the Design Exchange. I'm your host, Danny Russo, with the one and only Melinda Peters Elliott. And my God, we have her
Hello.
3 times in a row because she's
Yes,
actually
we're on
in
a roll.
town. She's not hang on, Red. She's not traveling or having surgery or camping or doing some
Or working,
weird thing.
working.
Yes.
So anyway,
So
yeah, because I can't run the mics and the computer. So
uh, I really just wanted to be a designer, but here I am as the audio video engineer for the Design Exchange podcast, located
that's
in
right.
Columbus, Ohio, and going out to the world.
That's right. That's right.
Um,
So
Bridget, hold on one second. Bridget, phone. Sorry, we're like 45 things at once. Um, so what do you want to talk about today? How's
today,
everybody's? I wonder how everybody's designs are going.
yeah,
We're approaching February very
yeah,
quick.
yeah,
Um,
off and running.
yeah,
The year's going well.
very
So
well.
just trying to get some of the new projects that we start the beginning of the year. We're going through making all the selections and everything for the bathrooms and all of the things that we're doing. So
Lots
I'm
of
trying to
planning and
get
lots of
those. Yep,
suggesting and trying to get everything finalized, right?
yep, exactly. Yep. So it's been fun. I had my workroom all torn up, Danny.
I
I have
saw
my
that.
drapery workroom. We decided to put new flooring down. It hasn't been ever done, and I needed it to match the front. So it looks good. So we're doing some painting of the walls. We
In the
are
back,
reorganizing. Yeah.
you have a
Yeah,
good
we're
team
we're,
for
we're painting
organizing.
all the walls. And guess what?
What?
I am putting my London fog color on all the walls,
So
and
let's
it
talk
looks
about that.
amazing.
What is your paint color? Because you have a paint color that just came out,
That's right. Yeah,
and
we
that
were
paint
able to do
color,
that through Sherwin-Williams.
hold on one second.
Yes.
Okay, they got it. We're like, what a day. Is it Monday?
Mhm.
It feels like Monday.
Wednesday.
It's
It's
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So I've been
Yeah.
here every day this week. I was here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we're supposed to be here Thursday through Saturday. But it's the new year, new
New
everything.
you, new
Yeah,
everything. Yep, get going.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta grab it by the balls and go.
So before we get into this, we're going to talk about lighting on this episode,
Yes.
and we're going to talk about 3 different elements of lighting. Uh, Overhead lighting, task lighting, ambient lighting, and multi-level lighting, which I don't know what
Yeah.
that is, but you came up with that. So we'll let you handle that topic.
Yes, and you're gonna love that. It's
Before
a
we get
new
into
one.
that, Lightovation is about to happen. So if you're a designer listening to this and you're looking for a trade show to go to that isn't as crazy busy as Las Vegas Market or Atlanta Market or even High Point Market,
Or Dallas.
whose haircut? When? When? Tomorrow? 8:30.
Danny, your eyebrows are moving around.
So I love this Zoom
Everybody
thing,
needs to
and there's
watch the
this.
YouTube video just to see this. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I put these on YouTube, but I have my eyebrows enhanced on the video, and I think they don't pick up my glasses, and if I move too fast, my eyebrows go somewhere
Jump all
else.
over your face.
Like I can confuse this. See it?
I know.
Hey, it's at least I don't. I was trying to figure out how to dye my beard, but that's not. The technology's not there yet.
I would say a Sharpie.
Yeah. Um.
So
So.
anyway,
Um.
back to the
So
lighting.
if you're not looking
So
for an
light
intense show,
ovation.
Lightovation is a show that happens in Dallas at Dallas Market.
Oh, I
And
didn't know that.
yeah, they have a whole wing dedicated to lighting. So I kind of like going because it's a market that's off the beaten path. It has a sampling of everything you need. Both of
Mhm.
us have stores, so they have giftable items. Can you call Rupa back? Rupa called. Could call her from this phone. Um, so I need to stop saying the word up. That's like my big supposed to
Yeah,
not be
put the
saying.
note on your computer again.
I am going to. But Lightavation's happening in Dallas. Dallas Market Center is pretty much on the scale of, I would say, Atlanta Market Center, but it's not part of IMC. IMC is International Market Centers. But if you want to know anything about lighting, and see all the new lighting that's coming out, you want to make a trip to Dallas Market for Lightivation.
You know,
And
my mom and dad were just in Dallas this
you said
past
that.
weekend. And I said, "Oh my gosh, if I had known
It was a
that they were
market. There was a
going,
market going on.
I told them, I said, there was a market going on. You should have told me." And they said, "Yeah, we saw. We drove right by it." I'm like,
Why didn't they go?
"Yeah." They didn't even know it was happening. So they
It didn't.
went for a photographer event and ran into this.
It's
So
very easy to
anyway,
navigate that market. That's why I like going there because it's so easy.
I like Atlanta. Atlanta has a great apparel mart too.
I've never been, but Dallas has that same thing too.
I know.
They all kind of do.
You need to go to Atlanta market with me, and then I'll go to Dallas market with you, so we
I
can
can tell you
show
what we
each
are
other
not
around.
doing again is driving to Atlanta.
Why?
I mean, we should be able to
I
get a
mean,
direct nonstop flight,
we would
but
have been able to go. We would have missed Bucky's. We would.
going to Bucky's one time is more than enough.
We saw fireworks going off on the
In
side of the
Cincinnati.
road.
Did
That's right. There were all kinds of fun things.
you leave a
And
message?
Danny sang karaoke, and
I did. I did.
we took naps while the car drove itself.
Oh, we did do that, and we went to a drag show.
I went to a drag show,
And
which was the best drag show I'd ever
oddly
seen.
enough, me and my cousin were the only men in the place, aside
Yes,
from the drag queens.
that's
It was
right.
all women. It was very interesting. I think it's like the modern day. What's that place where you would go in and they
You
have like
mean,
a medieval times?
yes.
It's like
You
the
mean
new,
in the audience, Danny. You say that you only meant in the audience.
yes. Rumshada was about to come out
Oh,
and do a little number.
no, you know.
Oh boy,
Give me some rum. I might just do it.
Rumshada. So
That's right. That's
lighting.
right.
Let's talk about lighting. I was
Yes.
just in my office this morning talking to my staff, and I was stressing that you can have an amazingly designed space, but if you do not have the right lighting, you can throw all of the design out the window
Yeah.
because bad lighting does nothing for a project. So
Yep.
the first thing I'm
Absolutely.
always thinking about when we're doing a project is I look at the overhead lighting that I'm working with, which is typically a 4 or 6 inch can light.
Yep.
Now,
Or not. Nothing.
or none.
Yeah. I get those a lot.
We
There's
add,
no overhead light at
yeah,
all.
and you really need overhead lighting, and it's really easy to do now with these old work wafer lights that are only about this
Yes.
thick, and you can change the color temperature 5 different ways. You never want to use daylight. You never want to use bright white. You always want to
Yep.
use soft white or warm white.
I
And that
like the 3500. I like that
27,
color.
2750 to 3500. And
Yeah.
that's a light that's over my head right now. But you have your overhead lighting, and then we bring it down a level to eye level, and that's where you have your lamps, and we call that your ambient layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you
Your
always want to
task.
have
That's your
always
task lighting.
task lighting goes. I consider task lighting more like desk lighting. Like I have a
Or
desk lamp.
lamps. Like if it's beside a chair or
Lamps
something like
still
that.
create the ambient layer.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
thing that creates your ambient layer is your LED lighting that's under a cabinet or a bookcase.
Mm-hmm.
I love playing with LED lighting and controlling where I place the light and how it's going to bounce off what's behind it and then pull out to the room.
Right.
So lighting
Right.
is a big mathematical equation that people don't realize. Like we know that a
Yes.
six
It's
inch
very
can light
technical.
placed at X amount of feet high will produce a beam spread of X. So
Yes.
we take that into account automatically when we're looking at a
Oh, yeah.
project. And then our next layer of lighting is something that Melinda's going to need to tell us about because we have overhead.
Multi-level lighting.
Now,
So I know you know what this is.
I probably do,
It's
but I've
it's a
never heard it.
chandelier and it has all of these multi-levels to it. Some of them are going floor to ceiling right now. And they go and they're usually LED lights and they're on strings and they extend all the way down. Like if you're going up a staircase, a rounded staircase, they're putting these long multi-level
Oh, yeah.
chandeliers that are beside the staircase. They're
And I love
really
those.
tall.
Yeah.
I do too. Their multi-level is the hottest thing going right now. I
You
keep
have to
seeing
have
this
the
one
height.
on a
You got to have
Facebook
the
ad,
you
and
have to
I
have the
love
height
it.
for it.
It looks like so LED is so cool because it looks like they can take fabric now
Yeah.
and weave the light things in. So it looks like fabric hanging. Like I love this one chandelier I keep seeing. I keep looking around my house like, now where would I put that chandelier? I want that one somewhere.
You know what's
But I
funny?
like the ones that just kind of,
That white chandelier that you liked in my entryway
yeah,
that I got from my secret vendor
yes.
is also available at Restoration Hardware,
Is
but we
it?
sell it for a fraction of the price.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, and I was
Yes, you
happy to
do.
see my lighting up here in the store because
Yeah,
I mean lighting's one of the most fun things for me to do. I think you as
yeah.
well. Somebody else was telling me,
Oh,
I think it
yeah.
may have been Bridget, that she loves doing lighting. Maybe we should
Mm-hmm.
all go
Yeah.
to Lightovation, not this year, but next year.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's a great idea.
That'd be fun to
So,
do.
yeah,
So
it
where do you
would.
source most of your lighting from?
Oh, gosh. That's a hard one. I usually go to my favorite resources, my design resources first, Hudson Valley or some
I
of the like
love Hudson
Korean
Valley lighting.
Company. And I love Korean Company.
Hmm.
I love digging into like some of the unique ones that are made by just random companies. So,
Yeah.
and then I'll go to Capital Lighting's website too,
I
and I
thought
do
Capital
some
Lighting was a Columbus-based lighting company, and I didn't realize it was a
no,
national chain.
yeah. I usually check Uttermost. They have a few lights and different things there. And
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm going all over the place for lights. I found a light the other day for $68 with chandelier
Yeah.
feathers.
Where was this?
I don't even remember. And so I sent it to my client. I'm like, hey, here's a black feather chandelier for you. And it was only
I
$68.
know
And she
exactly
laughed and
I know what light you're talking about.
She goes, Melinda, there's no electric in that one. It's just, it's, it's just a hanging, like, it looked
Poof.
like a light, but there's no electric in it. It was like a Halloween funny
I could tell
thing,
you where
but
to get that. It starts with a B and ends with an L, and they have it in
okay.
white, black, and I saw it in pink recently. And there is one
Wow.
bulb in it, but feathers are flammable, right?
Yeah, that's
So I
why
would
there's no
imagine you
light
want to use
to
an
it.
LED bulb. Be
I
careful with
guess you could
Melinda. Your house
probably
might catch on fire.
yeah, you could probably hang one little one in the middle of it somehow, but oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard. I'm like, it's only $68.
It's like
It's on
free, buy
sale, it's
two.
clearance. So, but it's a good example of what you should be careful about. I mean, and selecting things that sometimes it isn't what you think it is because you can't tell that this isn't it's put on a site as a chandelier, but there's absolutely nothing electric in it at all.
So then it should be under artwork, I would think, wouldn't you?
Right? Yeah. So I decided that you and I should come up with a line of fake chandeliers without lights in them.
Okay. With all my free time, I'm more than happy to do that. We could get you on the calendar for late 2024 to get that going. Um,
I mean, we could attach it to the inside of a can light.
I'm actually
This
working on a
is
project right now where
design.
I'm actually ripping that out. Somebody screwed in a pendant to a can light. I'm
They
like,
did.
how did
How
this
did they?
happen? I ripped it all out, and it's wait till you see this
Oh,
project. It's amazing.
oh, I'm
Um,
excited to see it.
yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah,
So
so lighting. So LED, so the light bulbs are still out. The fluorescent light bulbs, they're still there. They're still around.
they need to go away. Nothing should have
I
the
know.
curly spindle light fixture. Those should not be in a house. Those should not be outside. Those really shouldn't even
Yeah.
exist. Those bulbs actually
Yeah.
contain mercury in them, so they're not
Yeah.
good for the environment, and they produce the
Mm-mm.
most yellow, ugly light possible. My mother has
Yeah.
them in her kitchen, and every time I go over there, I get hives.
Ma. I'm surprised you didn't just replace it for her.
I just did her bathroom. She's gotten enough out of me. She started talking about the kitchen, and I'm like, what's your budget? What do you want to do? And everything she wants to do is like backwards in the design process. Oh, I don't want new
Uh-huh.
cabinets, but I want new countertops.
Okay.
Well, your cabinets are from 1960. So I'm not even touching that project with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah. You
But,
gotta wait, Mom. You're gonna have to wait.
well, I was
That's
like, do you
funny.
want to do
So,
this? And I told her the average price of the
yeah.
kitchen. She was like, no. I'm like, okay, bye.
Yep. So I have a pet peeve.
Go ahead.
My pet peeve is when people put different colored of LEDs together in the same room. And or you're trying to go with something that's existing, and or you're driving by a house and you can tell that they have the cool lights in the living room, and then they have the warm lights in the dining room, and
That's
then down the hallway it's a cool light, and from outside you can see this. That's a pet
color
peeve. It
temperature.
drives me
Same.
crazy.
Same.
I hate it. It needs to be the same. So we
Yeah.
had a little issue at Christmas in front of my store. So I sent my staff to go get icicle lights, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we had garland. So we put the lights in the garland and it looked beautiful, hung it up, and it was warm. It was a warm light. The girls went and got cool icicle lights. So I had the cool and the warm together. And for a solid month, I kept saying, Melinda, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. It's just cool and warm. And that's, it's mixed.
Well, at least you
So
knew about it. I
let
showed
it
up and my
go.
store was decorated for Christmas, and I was like, "What happened?"
What's
And I
Christmas?
didn't.
Is it coming already?
I didn't. I'm like, wait a minute. When's the 4th of July? Well, that happened already. But I mean,
That's when my birthday.
Last year flew by.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I hope this year's better. It slows down a little bit so I can enjoy
I
it.
wouldn't say last year was bad. It was just difficult.
It was, oh, you are not kidding. Drove me insane. I was never so glad to see a year go away in all my life. So, because of
Same.
a flood, and then I had a client that was being difficult. And, when you have people in your life that are constantly complaining about things, it does wear you down. And as a designer, I admit it, like it wore me out. And it's not that what she was saying, it was just how she said it and when, because she would text me at 6 o'clock on a Friday night,
Mm-hmm.
or she would text me at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, and just like irritating tone, you could tell. And I was just like, she wore me out. What's
Uh,
going on, Gavin? I know.
Tell him to go
Did
to
you eat?
school. Send him to school.
He's home.
Go to
He's
school.
home
Go
from
go do your
school.
homework, Gavin.
Go do your homework. So, oh my gosh, my teenage son. What? I know.
I'm so glad we can do these
So,
podcasts now remotely instead of having to be in the
I
warehouse
know.
or anywhere.
I know. It's so great. It's so much better.
Yeah.
So anyway, so my point is that you need to be consistent with your color temperature because that is something even you don't even realize it, but your overhead lights are going to be one color temperature. Your the lights over your bathroom mirror are going to be a different temperature. You have a chandelier in the room. Those all need to be the same.
Yes,
They all need to
exactly.
match because that is so annoying to me. You can definitely tell that that has been not done by a designer. And I actually made that mistake once, and my brother-in-law pointed it out to me. He was taking pictures of the job. He was like, I want to show you something and I don't want to be mean about it, but you've got two different temperatures of light in this room and it's driving me crazy. And I was like, oh, I never even thought about it. So ever since then, I really paid a lot of attention to that. And I think it is
Well, a lot of people
very
don't know
important to
what goes
keep
into lighting
consistent.
temperature. So what goes into a lighting
No.
temperature is you have Kelvins. You have your
Yeah.
Kelvin scale and you have your lumens. So when we're talking about lighting temperature and you mentioned 3,500, what you're
Yeah.
saying, and I don't want to speak incorrectly, but a lumen is, I'm trying to get the definition of a
The
lumen.
color temperature goes from 1,000 to 10,000 K, your color
So
temperature.
a
So
lumen
I,
stands for a light output. In simple terms, lumens are a measure of the total amount of visible light to the human eye from a lamp or light source. The higher the lumen rating, the brighter the lamp will be. Now, I believe that a lumen, one lumen is one candle light. So,
yeah, that's right.
um, a 40-watt light bulb is considered 440 to 460 lumens. A 60-watt light bulb is 800 to 850 lumens. And now what we're seeing is the Kelvin scale. So lumen is the amount of light, and then the Kelvin scale. God, this is going to be hard to find.
Yeah.
Well,
and
Kelvin
I'm looking
scale is
Kelvin is it's between 1,000 and 10,000. So 1,000 is a really warm candlelight, like a really hot light. And then it goes tungsten, 2,000 K,
in the lighting
3,000
industry.
K,
Kelvin refers to the light source's coolness or warmth. The Kelvin rating on a light bulb or light fixture indicates the shade of white that is given off by the light source. Think of how the sun changes color as it moves through the sky. So 1,000 gives you like an orange light.
Yep.
But between 2 and
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, 2,000 and 4,000 give you that incandescent look. If you go anywhere above 4,000, you're going into white.
Yeah.
And then above $7,000, it's blue.
It's a cool light. So my favorite color temperature is 3,500. It is right on that verge, just starting to be a little bit yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love the 3,500 because I think it's just enough warm that it's still clear and crisp. And then it
Here's
goes
a good lighting demonstration for you.
Okay.
This is the lowest Kelvin, which is on me right now. This is going up the Kelvin scale, and you'll see me get brighter. So in TV, this applies to TV as well.
You look hot.
The brighter I am hot. Thank you. But the brighter the light.
I had to say that.
Like that's bright white. I'm in bright white. I'm in brighter
Yeah.
white, and this
Now
is
you're
like,
really white.
so I prefer being in the amber range, which
Let's see
is,
what Smurf blue look. Let's see what cool light looks like.
that's cool. That's bright white.
Yeah.
And I could control the dimming. But I like being in the yellow range because it makes me look a little bit tan. Just me.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
So
Well, we're
lighting
not
is
going to
very
talk about my
important.
lighting.
I could tell with your lighting. You need to get what I got for my computer, but we'll talk about that another time.
That's right.
So, anything else you'd like to cover on lighting?
Well, I think the span, so lighting depends on how big the span,
The beam
what are
spread. The
my
beam
words I'm
spread.
trying to use? Yeah, the
Beam
beam
spread.
spread. That's right. So let's talk about that real quick because a light, so if you have a lamp, the beam spread is not very much because it comes down even with the shade and then it comes out from there. If
Yeah.
you have a light on the ceiling, depending on how tall the ceiling is a more of a beam spread. And if it's a shorter ceiling, then it doesn't have as much of a beam spread. So that's important
And my
because
thing is, you always
if
want to
you
diffuse a
have,
light too. Sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So you have floodlights, and the reason why they call them floodlights is because it has a huge beam spread, and that's why
It
it's
floods
flooded
the
with light.
space with light. And we also have
Exactly.
something called wall washing for lighting.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
right.
we
That's right.
manipulate and control the eye with lighting. So that's why lighting is one of the most important things when it comes to a project.
That's
That's
right.
all I have to say.
So, and another point of this is that when you have like, um, I saw the funniest meme the other day, and it was like, oh, you forgot that, the new house that you're buying, and it was the old owners, and they had two different lights on the ceiling on an angled roof, and it looked like they were boobs, like literal boobs on the ceiling. And they were like the way that the light was going up from the light and hitting the ceiling, and it had this reflection of this areola,
Yeah, yeah.
so to speak. So you
I
have
know
to
what you're
be
talking about. I know what you're
careful
talking about. Yes, be very careful with your
about
lighting.
where, yes, it cracked me up
I know
because
which
I'm
meme
like,
you're talking about.
of course, that is design humor and all of that. But I look at people that have lights on, like a sconce on the wall, and the light will beam up and it'll beam
Beam
down.
down.
Now, what does that light actually do? Like, what does it look like once you
It's
turn the light
decorative.
on? It has a different kind of look to it. I think you have some of those in your hallway
I have them in
at
my
your
bedroom, and now
condo.
I'm I wonder why my bedroom's so dark, but I wonder because I have black shades to diffuse the light to
Yep,
control it to go up. But if I got a translucent shade, I would get more light.
that's right. Yep.
Lampshades are very important too
So,
because you do want to diffuse light and you never want to see a
yeah,
light source.
right.
So most of the
Exactly.
LED lights that come out, they have a diffuser built into them. And we're experiencing now a lot of these light fixtures are coming with integrated LED lightings into the fixture. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that being said, I want to know what's going to happen when the diodes start burning out.
Yeah.
You have to buy a whole new chandelier.
Yep.
So I trend on those with
Exactly.
caution. I've actually done the math on a LED light bulb, and um it can burn 24/7, 365 days a year for 5 years. And that's running constantly. Now, most people aren't running their
Wow.
lights 24/7, but if you take it and even half that, you can get a good 10 years out of a light fixture. So it's all hit or miss.
Okay.
It's all very interesting.
Yeah. Exactly. The other thing is LED tape light.
They have
I
come in,
know
they have now
every
come,
kid in the,
they
go
come
ahead.
diffused now. So you don't see the diodes. They're making them as a strip,
That's good.
so it looks like it's neon.
Yeah,
So
that's
I kinda
really
like that.
cool. Yeah, I like those too. Every teenage boy and girl out there has those in their room. It
Giovanni,
is
yours.
Gavin. Yeah, all of the friends that he talks to on FaceTime, I see their lit up ceiling. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, but
Well,
well, I think I'm gonna have to take off here.
same here. We've covered a lot.
Yes,
Anyway,
we
the
have.
Design Exchange is sponsored by the Me Bag Pro. You can get the Me Bag Pro at www.mebagpro.com. You can also find it at Fine Designs and Interiors by contacting Melinda. You can
Yep.
find Melinda on Instagram at Fine Designs INT. You can find me on Instagram at Danny Russo. And you can find the tdxpodcast.com online. So we have a Facebook group as well. Join that, follow us, and we're open to suggestions. If you want to hear us covering a topic, let us know.
All
I will
right.
be, when this podcast comes out, I will probably either be on a cruise or on a stage talking about podcasting. So,
Yes, that's right. So happy designing, everybody.
yes, happy
And we
designing.
look forward to the next time.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.